Okay,
That's brutal.
so I'm gonna record and take attendance. Okay, so Sarah.
Cherokee's here.
Steve Brown here.
Brown, Elaine Breslow.
Present.
Lou Lawrence, Ben from school, and Megan Brinzy. Here, okay, great. And then we'll see, well, we'll wait on Carolyn, maybe she'll pop in and then, yeah.
I texted her saying.
We could start with Sarah, we'll just have to make it out.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, okay. So informally introduced everyone, but this is Sarah Bradley, our youth services assistant. So she works extensively with Sharon and comes to us with a great background of education. She was teacher and also, as I mentioned before, had public library experience. So perfect combination for a children's librarian. So do you want to introduce yourself, talk about, I don't know.
What did you teach?
Everyone's been a little different.
I taught first grade for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What surprised you?
About teaching,
Yeah, first graders.
how honest they are.
Wow.
They're very honest, sometimes to a fault.
Before the world gets a hold of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, before the world gets a hold. Neat.
And when did you transition out?
I left in March, so I started here in March.
Oh, so we got you fresh out of the classroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I needed to, it was not a healthy situation to be in, so I
Okay,
took a
yeah.
break and now I'm here. Good.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Is it
And
very
where
different?
did you work in the public library?
Somerset, which is Fall River, Dartmouth, so they're in the sales system.
Okay,
But I worked there part-time, for about 5 years throughout high school and college.
great.
And they used workflow, so that was what we use
Amazing.
here, so it was a very, very easy transition.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
So did you grow up in the Fall River, New Bedford
I did, I
area?
grew up in Somerset. Yeah,
Cool.
moved up here, when I got married to my husband Joe, we lived in Quincy for 2 years and we just bought a house in Whitman. We have an almost 2-year-old named Ava.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, it's been great here. I've loved to be able to combine my education background with working at a library. So I love working in the children's room. Summer reading was a blast. It was great to get to know people in town a lot more. And then I'll be starting my own storytime and craft program in October on Wednesday mornings. They'll be weekly in the story room. For right now, it's registration only, we can cap it at a small number, but I hope that as it hopefully gains in popularity, we'll be able to open it up to more people. And I've also helped relaunch an initiative that's called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, which helps or it encourages kids
Wow.
to start reading before they enter school. So that's hit the ground running as of last week, so it's been good.
So are you combining a specific story with a specific craft that makes sense to that story?
Yeah,
Is that
so-
the idea?
The fall, up until probably about the end of November, it's gonna be mostly fall-ish themed. So my first story is Big Red Barn, by Margaret Wise Brown, and the craft is, making a barn with popsicle sticks and animals, so it's very thematic.
Wow, so these are pretty much older kids.
No, they're young,
Oh.
they're I think it's up to 5 or 6.
Do
Oh
you
my
think
God.
Ava can make that barn?
I mean, it'll be on construction paper, so it's more just using.
Yeah, not
Yeah, no, not a 3D.
Oh, no, I mean, I was picturing that too.
Just picture,
Yeah, just picture you had the popsicle sticks and you were weaving it in and
Yeah,
out.
No, they'll get a cutout of a barn and then use fine motor skills to glue the popsicle sticks onto the barn.
Okay.
No, I mean, if they,
They can-
if they want, yeah. That was
We're not restricting.
No.
yeah, post and be.
But we're excited because we for years have not been able to offer a program on Wednesdays because Sharon only works at night on Wednesdays and a lot of families have asked us to have something on that day. So it's gonna be really great to have a program that we can offer.
And you have a great mentor too.
I do.
Yeah.
Sharon's been wonderful.
She's the best.
Oh, she never leaves.
We do too, right? Not allowed to ever. leave.
No, never.
And her energy is
Yeah.
just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, I don't know
That's
how she
true.
does it.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
But she's thrilled to have you. She really is. And it's been a huge help.
Yeah,
to
it's
her.
been great.
Assistant, so. Anything else? Anybody have questions or?
Well, we're really glad you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it sounds like a plus for us.
It really is, yeah. We're very happy. Worked out so well.
Do the kids tend to know each other from some other interaction, or is this like going to kindergarten in the sense you're meeting all new children if you're a child at that age?
For my particular
Yeah,
program, from my understanding, I feel like they know each other
Uh,
pretty well. I mean, I'm sure there'll be people who are coming in for the first time or don't come in as regular as
uh,
other kids do. But we get pretty consistent crowds in the
regulars,
children's
yeah,
room
yeah.
every day. And I recognize the names that are on the sign up list as of right now, so they'll be
Okay, good.
familiar, yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Thank
Sharon.
you.
Great job.
We'll see you around the barn.
That's right.
If anyone makes a 3D barn, I'll let you know.
Take pictures.
Absolutely.
How about on the display booth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Let's just squeeze.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good night.
Susan. Should we go on to the director's report?
Sure,
Maybe.
yeah. And not do the minutes, approve the minutes,
yeah.
or,
Let's approve
I mean, I guess we have
minutes.
enough people to.
Yeah.
I moved the minutes, I thought they were.
Actually,
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
Angela's
move the
doing a great
minutes.
job with
Did we
that.
just do I forgot, I don't know why. I'm
We just say
forgetting
all
this.
in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Anybody opposed?
Anybody opposed?
No.
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 Okay, so now should we do director's report?
You didn't know you were gonna have to multitask today, did you? Angela's at curriculum night for her two boys, and so that's why she's not here, so Brooke agreed
Yeah.
to do the minutes, which is really great, so. Well, it's been a really busy month, I've got a lot to discuss, so I'm just gonna dive right in and go as quickly as possible, but feel free to stop me if there's any questions. So for new initiatives, we have the new literacy stations came in, the ones that we got the discount on, and they're paid for by the capital budget grant that we got from the town. We still have more funds in that account, which we will use to buy replace the patron computers, which are very, very old.
What is how does a literacy station differ from computer?
Well, they're touch screens. They have these large keyboards that are color coded, and they're preloaded with learning games and all different sort of activities. So they're not really, you don't, it's not like it's not like a PC, you can't go online with it or anything like that. It's just, that's the purpose. It's there's math, but there's a lot of reading games and matching shapes and, different age levels.
Mhm.
They're very, very popular. But two of them, I was turning them on this morning, it still has Windows XP on when it comes on to start to load, so they're on their last legs. So we've got 4 new ones, and until we can get the new PCs, which are gonna get in there, we're gonna have all of them out. And so we'll have 9 stations going, so.
so kudos to you for getting them at the
Mhm.
discount, because I know that was a
Yeah,
little
that
bit
was it. I
iffy.
had to kind of nudge the powers that be to get everything approved so that we could get it in time, so we're very excited about that. And hopefully we'll get the other things up and running, and we'll be at least in the century. The next issue that's come up.
Hi, sorry. It's okay.
And elsewhere as usual. Traffic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
35 miles an hour does mean.
Oh, boy. Yeah, they.
Welcome back to school, everybody.
Yeah. The first 2 weeks are hard for parents, too. It's an
I
adjustment.
really don't have that excuse, but I'll
Yeah.
pretend I do. Anyway, carry on. Sorry for the interruption.
Absolutely, no, that's fine. You did miss, Sarah Bradley was our
Oh.
person of the month. So
Yeah.
she just did a little presentation of what, she does and her background and,
It was great.
yeah, it was great. Yeah, exactly. So I just started, we did the minutes and I'm just starting my report, basically. The next issue I have here, and actually kind of a bit of an update is, we've had a mother and
I read
son
that,
that have
yeah.
been in the periodicals room for the most part, on and off. It's been at least a few weeks, maybe longer, and then they would go away for a while and then come back.
How old is the son?
Son's in his early 20s.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
not a child.
No, he's not a child.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
definitely some, on the
A
spectrum
disability
of
of some
some sort. When we first encountered the mother, they were in the periodicals room and she had taken her shoes off and she was sleeping on the couch. And, one of the staff members went in and said, in our policies is you're not allowed to sleep. And the main reason for that is, if you're having a medical issue, we would not know it if you know, what's going on. So, and, we just don't allow it. And she got very aggressive and said that, and the son also said that she was meditating. And so, you know, I said, well, be that as it may, you're not allowed to sleep in here. And then a few days later, the incident of washing their clothes in the bathroom. And they said that they had had an accident, and that's why they're doing that, but it was far more clothing than, would be, you know, just from spilling something.
And they were from Longwood, you said, some,
That's where the car's registered.
okay,
But it's, I didn't see it when I came in, but it's, very full of items. And, some of the staff members say at 8 when they're leaving, they see them out in the parking lot changing clothes and there's piles of clothes everywhere and it's upsetting. And so I reached out to Stephanie, who is our, town social worker. She was on vacation, but she put me in touch with, there's actually 3 social workers who work together for, the local towns. I think it's, Situate, Norwell and Cohasset. And they gave us some advice, things to do, and they asked for us to, you know, keep a log of the incidences and, long story short, the police have also been made aware of who they are, and, that's how we found out about, where their car is registered, but Officer Wilson came in today and, spoke to the mother. The son was, getting some books, so he wasn't there, which I think was better. And he offered her services, she refused, but he took it as it's a long process, and this is the first step. And there was another person, that had been living in their car in the parking lot, I don't know, 6 months ago or more, and now he has that person in housing, so
oh, wow.
he seemed very positive about being able to help them.
What was his name or his name?
Officer Wilson.
Oh, cool.
But I'm really surprised that the social worker didn't get involved right away. I mean,
Yeah.
that is their.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that too, although our main one was on vacation, and
But
so.
still, that's.
The
That's
other
what they
ones,
do.
they responded quickly, but then they were more like, well, gather information and then we'll, you know, do something.
But you
Well,
should
after
have
that-
to do that, that would be their. job.
Right, after that first sort of aggressive reaction, we haven't had incidences like that. They've come in, but they spend the day.
So pretty much
Justice
every
Library.
day they'd be here.
for the most part, yeah, yeah.
No other
And
library.
it's,
just-
I think they may have been in another library and then now they're here, you know.
And
it's
then
not
they
like
wait
they're
till they
local.
get kicked out.
And then something happens, and it may be now that the police have spoken to them, they may move on to another library. I don't know. I don't know their,
Mhm.
See,
what,
that's
I
why
don't
social
know
workers should get
enough
involved.
about what the problem is. And
That's so sad.
it is
Yes.
sad, and I was talking to Angela about it later, and I was saying they may not wanna go into a shelter. Because a lot of them, they separate the men and the women.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
son, who may have some special needs, might not be able to stay with his mother. So there's maybe, certainly valid reasons for not wanting to.
Isn't it so
go
strange
through.
that we just not that long ago updated our policy about what's acceptable and not acceptable in the library? And
Yes,
the issue of doing laundry was
yes.
something that we're like, well,
Right,
really,
we
that's
did
maybe
talk
other
about it.
libraries.
Yeah.
And I
It's
think
so
it's-
true. I was
Yeah.
so happy to be able to, share
Yeah.
again, remind the staff, this is the policy. And that there is a no sleeping policy, so it's just so much easier to say. We have a policy against it, rather than to be, we don't like that you're doing laundry. I mean, certainly if someone had something small, like onesie, if someone's spit up, maybe you could clean that up, but doing a whole.
Yeah.
Load of laundry in the bathroom is not gonna work, so. So we're working on it, and I actually asked Stephanie if she would maybe run a little class or seminar for the staff to kind of give us some, language we can use and, advice of how to manage these situations. It's, yes, this is a wealthy community, but it doesn't mean that there are people in need.
Is our social worker back in town? Is her vacation over?
Yeah, she's back.
So if this woman appears again, maybe she could get involved.
Yeah, I think she's working with the police, so she had Officer Wilson come over. When I talked to her about, talking to the staff, she said, I'm gonna have, well, there's Officer Lennon, who's really the one that manages that, he's on vacation. So it's this time of year is not great, but when he's back, he's gonna come, Sarah's gonna come, they're gonna talk to us about how to manage these kinds of things, so.
Right, and you should all be able to feel safe too. I mean, that's.
Absolutely,
important.
absolutely, and they have business cards, they dropped off a bunch of business cards so that we can say. It is difficult, because how do you approach someone, but if someone asks for help, or it seems like they need help, here's a card for someone that can maybe point you in the direction of services. So, I mean, it's hard because we are a public place, if they're not causing any disruptions, they're welcome to stay. But if we see that there's, clearly a problem, then we need to try to help, so.
Can I just ask, 'cause I was trying to write some notes, the
Absolutely.
Officer Wilson part?
Yes.
So he went and talked to
He
them?
talked to them
already?
today, yes.
Talked to them today, and then he gave them a resource?
Yeah, he tried to help them, and
Okay.
said, I have some options for you that I think I can help you with, and they declined.
Okay.
They declined.
Okay.
But he's not gonna give up yet. He feels like that's kind of how it has to work is,
Did she have a phone?
did she have a phone? I don't know. Probably.
Good question.
Everybody has a
Yeah.
phone, but I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Do we have homeless people in Cohasset?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
do.
We've had other situations, when Michael was here, he, kind of got a feeling about, a caregiver and a patron who was in, and he passed that along to social worker, and it turned out there was some, I don't know if abuse is the right word, but some issues. We had an elderly gentleman left all day in our community room, just in the chair, so we had to, reach out
With
about
some people for a
that.
long time who were sleeping up on Highland Avenue.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there are
People
and every
that-
once in a while, somebody would take him in and
Mhm.
then he'd go back. We had the end of Sankey Road, we had people last summer.
I thought,
Living there
and
for a
even
while.
here by the music circus in the woods back there. Yeah, it's, we're not immune, for sure. But then, as we were just talking about the policy, and we don't have to, decide this now, but just looking forward. Do we want to update it when the pavilion is done? That's just something to kind of put in the back of your head to be thinking about, what. It'll be an outdoor space. Would we have different, policies for that area? Again, like I said, don't have to, it's a long thing.
Let's see the pavilion.
Let's see the
first.
pavilions first, yes, then we can
We may
change the
all be gone.
policy. Great, I agree 100%. So then,
Well, we should also have a policy for the atrium that we're gonna have, right?
okay, yes. Um, for programming, this was, I don't know if anyone was able to come in and look at the boards that were up in the middle of the room. They were really wonderful. The Situate Animal Shelter is doing a fundraiser, and it was a contest of different age groups to draw your pet. And they were really, really creative. And the captions that they put for each picture, it was as if they were in a museum. You know, it was like in a palette of blues and greens, the artist has captured the emotional expression. It was just,
And your
It was-
interview was awesome. I thought you were very calm in front of the camera.
it was at the last minute. Jen was supposed to do it, and then Alan came at the last minute, so maybe that was better because I didn't have time to think about it too much. Thank you, though. So, and an update on that, Adam came in today and met with Jen and I. So he works for 143, Cohasset 143. And he would like to start filming little snippets of what's going on at the library. And he said, all we have to do is come up with what we want to talk about. It can be something in the collection or library of things, or it can be a program that we're running, or anything we want to talk about, and he'll edit it and give it to us, as well as put it on Cohasset 143, so that we can put it on our YouTube channel, and we can put it on Facebook and wherever we want to put it. And I think it's a great idea. Jen's really excited about it. I mean, it's another way to market some of the things that.
What
we do,
about
so.
permissions though? If there are children in that.
I did ask him about that, and he said we film from behind the back, so it wouldn't be able to identify any of the children.
Hmm.
And he also does ask for permission. Because I was telling him, we do the, the reading partners with the dogs, so it'd be a great thing to film. And he would either ask permission or just not even have their faces in there, so he's aware of the rules around that, but anyway, I thought it would be, it just sort of a lot of libraries do have, little videos of here's what's going on, and I think the hardest part is gonna get the staff to agree to be on camera. We'll see how that goes, so,
It's interesting how ignorant some groups are of what we do and what we have.
I think that's one of our biggest challenges is, we have so many things, and even people that I know, say, I didn't know that you had that.
You said that about them.
Yeah, yeah, my own son didn't even know. He loves comic books, and he was like, I didn't know about Hoopla, and now he's like one of the biggest downloaders of comic books. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot. It's hard to talk about all of it all the time.
But that newsletter you send out to everybody in town, right?
Yes,
Not just the people who's,
no, everyone.
so. then
But
we-
here's,
But that's not even everything we have.
Right, but
So, but you're.
But if they
it's a-
could just take the time to look at it, they would
Yes.
get a beginning.
but here's, I mentioned this, it was a group of men at the senior center. And so I went and just asked them what do they know about the library. And they said, well, we got that, we got something every once in a while in the mail. And I said, well, what do you think of it? He said, well, I don't think we've really read it. So I went through, if you're infirmed, we'll drop the books off, and went through and said, oh, So the reason I'm going into this is that they have a limited attention span. And it might, we might try some way of just, this is a crazy idea, there's better ways of doing it, but let's say we had a postcard. And we gave it to local places where people that are not wired go. And it might just say, did you know that you can have books delivered from the library? Just that's all it says. So
Yeah.
you break it down into,
Simple sides or something, yeah. It's not a bad idea, because I do think the newsletter is so chock full of information, and
wonderful.
it's wonderful, but you're right, it can be a little overwhelming to look through it all. We do have, when we do the e-newsletter, that's sort of a smaller version, and we just highlight things coming up for the month. But maybe they're not on our email list, so they may not even get.
have you ever seen any statistics of what by age group of how many people are online in Cohasset?
No,
I
I have
don't,
not seen that. Do you have it
I
ready?
have
for-
not.
No.
seen it, yeah.
No, I wish I did.
I don't believe
Tell us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the
See,
problem.
so-
You look into that for our next meeting, okay?
Full report. I'm gonna write that down. Steve said he's gonna interview everybody.
Understand, Sarah, I'm much better at asking questions
Well,
than
no, I.
answering them.
I don't
So
know.
that would be interesting to know, so if anyone can find that out, then please share. And then 1,000 books, Sarah already discussed that. That was, Sharon had done that a few years ago, and I think during COVID, kind of, we got away from it, but I think it's great that she's reviving that program. It's really wonderful. And then moving on to finance. I had to go over and sign the CPC grant agreement, so the 100,000 is ready and waiting to be spent. Yeah, from what I understand, what Tracy was saying is that, they don't really give us the money, we just submit the bills as needed, and they're paid out of the grant, so, it's fine with me, that makes it even easier, so. So we have a revolving account. I submitted the budget request to the Friends. They did not meet in September, they were supposed to meet, and that's when I was gonna do a presentation of what kinds of things we're looking at. For the year, they couldn't get enough people to come, so they moved it to October. Unfortunately, I will not be able to go to that, but I did, kind of give them, I don't know where it is now, a little summary of our numbers from last year as far as, number of programs we ran for each department, and, attendance, and also things like museum passes, how many reservations you have, because they do pay for the museum passes as well. So 30.5% increase in total attendance on programs,
Wow.
21% increase in museum pass reservations. So I feel like they should feel that we're using their money carefully and wisely. The budget increase is very small, it's about, I don't know, $1,600. And we added in a little bit for giveaways when we do outreach. If we're at the farmer's market, they want to have just something they can give people to take with them. And then also some funds to give thank yous to the volunteers. We have Lisa Rosen has been doing our knitting group, which has just been so popular, and she does it for free, and it's every week. And then she also does Friday extra knitting help for people who want extra help. And it would just be really nice to give her a $50 gift card for something. We also have Faisal, who is the student who's doing our tech help, you know, a little something. So I just asked for $200 for some extra funds for that kind of thing. So hopefully they feel that it's reasonable, and that they approve it. We'll find out their next meeting in October, so.
So we have a lot of knitters. Do we have-
Yeah, they meet in here and the whole room is full and you can
Wow.
hear them, I can
Wow.
hear them from my desk, they're laughing, they're having a great time, it's
Do they
really
tend to be
fun.
older women, younger women? Well, Or a
Lisa is about my age, but it's, so it's her
Yes.
age and a little bit, probably a few older women.
Yeah.
But they're laughing, they're talking, they're all doing projects. You know, someone was sick and so they all knitted something for the person in their group that
I
was
guess
sick.
Rosie Greer wasn't playing. Remember he used to knit?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Ron, can I ask a question about museum passes?
Yes,
So when an exhibit comes through, like the Auschwitz, how do we get passes for that, or how does the library offer that?
so normally not, but that we did, we got, a person reached out from the, traveling company, I think, that was presenting the Auschwitz, and he said, we have extra tickets. We want to offer libraries. He actually reached out to Dave Slater, who is head of OCLN and executive director, and said, we'd like to offer tickets to the libraries for
Okay, so
free.
they reach out to.
So they reached out to us and it actually turned out to be a little bit more work than we thought it was going to be. They said we have, I forgot how many tickets, 80 tickets a library, and we just thought we'd be, handing out vouchers or something. Well, it's a QR code, and when the staff tested it, then they were charging a service fee of $8, and they said, no, we're not supposed to do that, and long story short, it did work, and they're about $50 a piece, so it was a good discount, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's still the 15th, so just a few more days. But that was just a kind of a one-time thing. I'm fairly sure that if it's, say, the MFA and they have their special exhibits, that's not included in the
Okay.
discount that we get.
Okay.
I think that's a separate fee.
I think you're right.
I think
Yeah,
that's
there are
right.
like a couple of museums that they buy the membership for, and that's it for the year,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all. They don't offer, the museums don't offer an extra, if you wanted to pay more, you could let everyone get into the special exhibits as well. They kind of, yeah. Speaking of the museum passes, the New England Aquarium in Boston has now kept their price the same, but they're going back to the policy of not allowing library passes to be used in the summer, which is how they used to have it years ago. So we tried really hard to find something else to sort of fill in. There's not a lot of aquariums around. Mystic Aquarium used to have a library pass, but they're not doing that program anymore. So one thing we decided to add was the Butterfly Place, which has these great little passes. It was, I forgot what it was. It's on the bills. It's in there. Like $90 for a set, and it's supposed to be really fun.
Where is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, where is
It's,
that?
I have to get the bill.
Took our grandkids there. They loved it.
Where is it?
Yeah, where is it?
Where is it if you do that?
Yeah, I'll find it. It's in here.
Oh, we're falling asleep.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like I'm the truth teller.
You are the
Yeah.
truth teller.
That's too.
They were butterflies.
They were good. They used to have that at the
Museum of Science.
Maybe that's where it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, they do at the
Okay.
Museum of
I went through it.
Museum of Science,
Museum
yeah.
of Science,
This is
yeah.
in Westford. It's called the Butterfly Place. And we've got 2 packs of coupon books for $90 each. And so
Westford.
it's
Very
supposed to be really a fun thing to do. And not very expensive. And so, but we're still looking for other things to offer, families.
In the summer.
In the summer, because that was one of our most popular passes, so it's kind of
We have
frustrating.
the Franklin Zoo that.
We have, yes, in New England, I think, so it's both
That's
zoos.
Stuff, but, yeah, I don't know, they've done Franklin Park, always, Friends has always done Franklin Park.
Yeah, I think it's Stoneham and Franklin
Stoneham.
Park are both part of the, it's Zoo New England.
That's right.
And so I
Yeah,
think you
Southwick,
can
I
use
think,
it for
is like a
either one of
private
those, but.
Organization, yeah.
Yeah, we looked into all kinds of different things, the Pirate Museum and that, but some of the discounts weren't really worth that.
Yeah.
Because we're paying for it up front, and if not enough people use it, it's not worth it, so. Anyway, that's that, but, hopefully we'll have no problems with the Friends and we'll be ready for another year. And then, I didn't print it out, but the state budget, is signed and a big increase for the public libraries, which is
Yay.
really, really
13%,
wonderful.
that's cool.
Yeah, really exciting. Let's see, the pavilion bid was posted. I thought Carolyn was gonna be here to talk about it. It sounded like, there hadn't been as much, response as they had hoped. But there were some people who pulled papers, is that what it is? I'm not really sure what it's called in
Yeah,
that
I don't know.
situation. But expressed interest, and then Michelle said 2 had asked for an extension. So the deadline was supposed to be, I think, this weekend. And Michelle was gonna give them the extension because the work doesn't have to be completed until on the bid paperwork, it said next June, so they could take longer to start and still get it done, so. I don't know what, I don't have a lot of information about that, and we're not. I
There
think-
hasn't been much chatter during the summer. It was really just
Yeah,
like,
it-
we were waiting on the stormwater thing and then
That
getting
took a
that
long
all
time.
sorted out
Then we had
before
to
they
go to the
could send it
Conservation
out,
Commission meeting, that was a whole other thing, it's a long
Long
process.
process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a little discouraging, but we'll see. We won't give up yet. The next question is, excuse me, about, outside cameras, security cameras. What's the
I'll
thought?
speak to that.
Thank you.
This is the
Thank you.
third time it's come up in front of the library, and it's been definitely said no previous times because they really aren't very useful at all.
Okay,
You can't identify the people that are on it.
yeah,
You
okay.
know, and then who's gonna be sitting around watching all this tape going by and trying to identify? And, you know, remember when the school had those cameras and they were having the bomb threats and they had the
I thought
video
they
of the
were
guy coming right up to
working,
the front
yeah,
door?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
did it help?
Yeah.
Nope, couldn't identify the
Like
kid.
2 years ago at the Cracker Barrel, there was some vandalism and they were able to
Well,
identify.
that's good. I'm glad they had success.
Yeah, I
Well, that
don't know
was
if
the-
they've gotten more,
Yeah.
better.
I mean,
But I mean, but one volunteer losing a bike is not like a rash of,
No, not at all, but we do get calls, sometimes there's car accidents out here. And, you know,
Mhm.
people wanna know if we have any footage, things in the parking lot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not, pushing for it, I'm just
no,
wondering.
I was just
bringing
saying
it up.
that we did discuss it at great length previous times, but.
Does the town have footage anywhere? Cameras
I would
anywhere?
guess
we
the
don't have
schools, they
schools,
don't know,
yeah. We don't have
So-
traffic cameras or anything.
So why would the library be?
No, yeah.
Well, they're putting them up at the dump, I think.
Well, that's good.
Dump.
Are they
To
checking
protect the
stickers?
Those
boutique.
trash things.
Cleaning out my
I'm
garage.
just a plastic bag probably. That's their
No,
plastic
I just
bag.
think, I mean, I'm just gonna say that it's, you know, that it involves a lot of hassle. And it's not particularly,
Yeah.
Well,
Is
it's
it
like
expensive?
staff
that's the
resources.
Well, that's
It's
the que- I don't know.
I mean,
And I think before it was more about, it was all had to be networked, but now the technology has changed so much, they're so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has a ring.
Sarah,
camera.
did the store, like this Buttonwood have one outside?
No.
So this, all those stores don't?
we have two fake cameras in the store. Which we think are more
Funny.
That's funny. Come back and shoplift.
No, but I mean, even,
Not like a buck
when you
can
can't
get
really tell what people are doing. I'm certainly glad the Barrel was successful in their nabbing somebody, but, you know,
But I'm thinking break-ins at night, like the wine store and.
oh, like the wine store, that's like, I won't go into it, but something's going on there, but it's nothing to do with people breaking in.
Oh.
It's like,
I don't think they
Just
sell,
money
it. I don't think
they don't sell anything, but they have truckloads pull in and unload boxes and boxes of wine and liquor there every day.
It's
And nobody
really-
buys anything.
I think it's really cheap wine, so
No, it's
maybe
not.
it's not.
No,
I thought the time. Yeah, the time I was in there, it was.
they've been
like
trying to
that
shut them
stuff.
down,
Yeah.
but I think there's some kind of,
I didn't know any of
I don't
this.
know, I think it's just some kind of pass through. I don't know.
Wow.
They're watching.
In
people
Cohasset,
live
that's
there.
exciting.
Talk about homeless people, the guy was living in his car and then he was moving and living in the back. I mean, you know, it all happens right here.
Wow.
Jeez, you should have a newspaper.
I know, you've got all the answers,
It's
Laura.
like our own dinosaurs. We're detectives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No, I
Boy.
worked today, I just walked by these 2 trucks and they were just cases and cases of stuff being delivered there.
Wow.
And you never see anyone in the place at all.
It has a weird
Yeah.
vibe, for
Yeah,
sure.
it
I
does.
shouldn't say that in an open
Okay,
meeting,
it
but
is.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I mean,
I know.
Very sorry.
Well, the only other issue that came to mind for me is frequently during the music circus concerts, this lot is full of
Mhm.
top and bottom.
Yeah.
It's not a problem on the weekends when we close at 5. It's definitely an issue when it's, a Tuesday night show and we're here till 8.
Mhm.
There's trash in the lot, just a big mess. So
Who cleans the trash?
Ted a lot of times. I'm sorry about an issue.
It's like,
It's
Ted's
Do you want
doing
me
it.
to- do you want me to
Excuse me,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
some mints, do you want a mint?
I have
You have
I
one?
have one last gumdrop left.
Yeah.
And
I
just getting rid of it.
Yeah, my daughter has piano. Yeah.
to see if this works. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Anyway, we'll table that and we can circle back if we want to.
Mhm.
Okay.
Want someone else to speak for a little?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think it's
Okay.
when I talk for quite a while, my throat gets very scratchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll come
All
back
right,
to
so
you.
we can, why don't we move on to the bills? Do we have any questions, comments, feedback on the bills?
Pam.
Okay, all right. Do I hear a motion?
No, I actually did have a question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I noticed this and then somebody put this printout in front of my, so I could, so we paid $12,000 to AWE Digital Learning. It was that's for
That's
the
the literacy.
literacy. Okay, thank you for answering.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, do I hear a motion on paying bills?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call
Aye.
vote for that. So Mary Lou Lawrence is aye, Elaine
Aye.
Breslow,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Sarah Pease.
Yes.
Catherine Harvey is aye, Megan Brinzy.
Aye.
And Brooke
Aye.
Trill. Motion carries.
Oh.
All right, so then that goes to me, right? I mean. Getting here 20 minutes late was as much as I could muster this month, so I have no report. So I'm like trying to turn my brain back on after summer.
The only other thing I really needed to mention was the room use policy. We'd like to just get rid of the language that says that you have to have a Cohasset Library card to reserve the room.
Yeah, I had some questions about that.
Yes.
So if you don't live in Cohasset,
Mhm.
you're outside, and you don't have a library card, what if you take the room, but somebody in Cohasset wants it?
Well, you can only book it for 2 hours at a time. The 2 study rooms are only booked the same day, so you have to get up in the morning and go online and reserve the room, so. There's already restrictions on the use of the room.
How often do people outside Cohasset use rooms? I mean,
I
are
don't
they
know.
there? You don't know, so you don't know
Well,
whether it's Cohasset card holders or.
right, because we haven't really been using the card holder thing because it really didn't work. Because we have, for example, there's a couple of tutors that are from Hingham that tutor Cohasset children quite frequently. And they were going to have to transfer their Hingham library cards to Cohasset library cards in order to reserve a room.
What is that? I mean, I have a couple of library cards.
You're supposed to, if you're in this network, you're
Oh,
supposed
it's
to,
within OCLN.
yeah, you're supposed to kind of settle on one library. And then the problem with that is most libraries restrict certain things to their patrons, such as museum passes.
Yeah.
So if the tutor lives in Hingham, he wants to take out a museum pass, he's gonna have to come over here. So it's really not good service for people that were using the rooms. And most of the time they're tutoring Cohasset children because that's why they're coming to this library. If it was Hingham, they would be in Hingham.
And we don't have a problem currently with people wanting the rooms and not being able to get them.
It used to be a big
It
battle
used
for
to
the
be a
rooms.
big battle. I will say there are times when they're busy. But going to the same day system where you have to, you can't reserve it in advance. Sort of has settled a lot of that down. We have people at 12:01 in the morning go online and book the
Oh,
rooms.
wow.
But is it the same people that are booking every day? Cause that doesn't seem right
Mm.
either.
No, it's a variety. It's a
Okay.
variety.
Have any Cohasset tutors complained that they never get the room because they're,
I don't think so, and they also can use the young adult room. And then also sometimes they'll sit in that area, that we, when we move the shelves,
Mhm.
so they tutor in there as well. So, it's not a perfect system. But it's-
I would thinking that I would just let it go and then not change the whole system, but just let it go. I mean,
So take the language out.
yeah, or just leave the language as it is and let these couple of guys from Hingham just come over and abuse the policy a little bit. I mean, it just seems easier than changing the whole thing.
It does, I just got a call, the other day from a woman, whose mother passed away, who was a local resident and also a donor to the library, Martha Herteg. And, this was her daughter, who's in North Carolina, and she wants to do a memorial service, just a small gathering for her mom in town, and she was wondering if we could use our meeting room. And she's like, I don't know what to do though, because it says I need a library card, you know, to book the room, and that started also me realizing that. It's a good, in theory, it's a great idea, but in practice, it doesn't really work, and we do allow. That room to be used by outside groups regardless of if they're, you know, residents or. So,
So it's already being used widely anyway.
Yeah, so if it's not, I mean, if
Exactly.
it's not, if the language doesn't suit the purpose, I mean, I don't have any problem with changing it.
Right, I don't either. Martha Hertog was a big donor too. I would just
exactly,
comment.
so I said,
Yeah.
and her daughter's lovely, and I said, you know, of course, we'd love to, you know, allow you to use
Yeah.
that room, that's a perfectly legitimate use.
But I
of
do
it.
have
Yeah.
a Hingham businessman friend who used to come over and use our library all the time
To work,
to work, yes.
yeah, yeah,
But you have that 2-hour limit, right?
but a 2-hour limit.
Yeah.
And we do say, if no one else has reserved it, you can extend that time, but you have to come out of the room and come and talk to the front desk.
so he was just part-time.
Yeah,
So
I
he
know.
was-
He was just telling me how much he loved coming over to work at the library. and how
So,
it's
so
like-
why don't, I would feel better changing the language, because if again, it's just like policy, you are able to point to something. Should you
Right.
need it.
Right, but I don't know if we should have a policy and then not be.
Enforcing it.
Enforcing it
Yeah,
with,
right. That I-
fairly to
Right.
everyone.
Well, you're saying you would
But it
like to
works.
eliminate the condition that you must have a Cohasset library card.
Yes.
You want to eliminate that, so
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Oh,
Why
I thought
don't
you
we
were
do
saying, why don't
Yeah.
we just leave it and then not enforce it?
I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Right.
Yes,
I'm more
I think
comfortable
that.
changing the
I think that's a
language.
good point, yeah.
So do I hear a motion to remove the language in the room reservation policy requiring a Cohasset library card?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you.
So we can live with it and see what happens. If
If
that
it
doesn't solve the
happens,
problem,
then
we
we
can
change
change the policy.
Policies can be easily.
That's right.
It's not forever.
I'm just impressed that she called up and went through the policy to figure out.
She had gone
had
on the, it's on our
I know.
website. And she
Yeah.
knew it, and, yeah, and then she went through the steps, you have to submit a form requesting it, and that has to be approved, and.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we were able to help her, and I think it's gonna be very nice, so. All worked out, but, that's great.
Do you need signature if anything?
Signature, did you sign, everyone sign
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
And I think that's fine,
Yeah.
the only thing I have is my, PowerPoint, I'm happy to run through real quickly if anybody wants to see the statistics. Or if you
Sure.
wanna,
Yeah,
you
sure.
know,
Okay, well,
everyone has.
I'll let you.
Sorry.
Mary Lou, you go.
Anybody wants to
We'll
go,
watch.
yeah, just
Yeah,
go,
it's
we'll
not,
watch.
it has no exciting animations or narration or wipes or dazzle, so.
I think, and we covered the Friends and we covered, and the trust has not met. So we covered the
Yeah,
pavilion, so I think you
I'm
have everything
sorry.
you need to have, you know. the
We're all out of
economic-
order tonight,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's mostly my.
No, well, it's
fault, but,
also mostly my fault for being 20 minutes late.
15.
I have to run too, but is there any notes I need to write on your slideshow? Or should I, is there anything?
You
I
can
need to
just say
know?
that I.
It was dazzling.
Yes, you can say it was really amazing.
You showed a dazzling slideshow.
I'm sorry, Bronwyn.
No, 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 absolutely, no problem.
Well, why don't we close the meeting?
Yeah.
Adjourn the meeting, and then this will be a little
Okay.
And then-
treat for the rest of it.
If I can
Okay,
get it.
all right.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Great.
So our scribe can leave.
Yeah, thank you for taking the minutes. and
Her
getting
piano
things
side
started for us.
changed, so that's.
Thanks, bro.
Okay, oh, here. Let's make sure. Oh, see, I do see something.
Why we
here.
fight, was that great?
It was good, yeah. Yeah, it was good. I thought I saw something. Oh. Estate groovy. Do you want it?
No, that's okay.